And whatever thing we do, Allah has made it to be that He is watching over us and is the one that knows how to reward whatever good thing we do in marriage as an act of ibadah. I want to speak few words and give us some examples that I wish that we will not forget even after we have left this place tonight. Marriage, sometimes they say it's a market that you buy and you don't know what you have really bought. Some people are very lucky with marriage. Some people are not very lucky. Some people have very good life today because of the person they married. Some people are very sad today because of the people that you married. At the point of getting married, sometimes you can't really tell what you are in for, whether it is for good or not for good. There are these neighbors. One of them has a well at the back of his house, and the other one doesn't have a well for fetching water. The one that doesn't have a well always go to the house of the one that has a well. He will knock at the door, they will open the well for him, and he will fetch water and return home. He has been doing that every time. So there was a time when the neighbor that had the well got tired and said, why don't you buy this well instead of coming to beg for water every time? And that one felt, this is a good idea. How much is it? They discussed, they agreed, and that neighbor paid for the well. The following morning, he came again as usual. He went straight to the well instead of going to knock at the door. He got there, he met that the well had been locked with padlock. So he went to the neighbor and knocked and said, Salaam alaikum, I want to fetch water. This is my well now. Who locked it? That neighbor said, I am the one that locked it. He said, why? He said, why do you want me to open it? He said, because I bought the well. He said, yes, you can go and get the well. He said, but it is locked. I need to fetch water. Then that neighbor that sold the well said, no. You only paid for the well. You did not pay for the water inside. When we were negotiating, what did you say you want to buy? I said, I want to buy the well. Yes, you bought the well, but you didn't buy the water. It became argument. They went to a judge, and the judge said, yes, truly, you said you wanted the well. Go ahead and get your well. But you that sold the well to him, go and remove your water from his well. The well is now his own. So that neighbor got back and he fetched water from morning till evening. When he got tired, he now called the neighbor back and said, I'm very sorry. You can now have the well and you can have the water inside. This is what happened when we get married. A man may pay the dowry for a woman. He thought it's only the beauty that he has bought. He did not know that he has bought everything, the well and the water that's inside. If she's a good woman, she will be with you for the rest of your life. If she's not a good woman, you have bought the well and you have also bought the water inside. What are you going to do? Marriage is managed. Sometimes it determines your destiny. If the water is acidic, it's all yours. If the water is good, it's all yours. The same thing, a woman do not just marry a man and just say, I've married him because he has one single quality. No. You don't marry the man for his look or for his money. You marry everything about him. If he is stubborn, you've married him with his stubbornness. If he is careless, you've married him with his carelessness. If he is wicked, you've married his wickedness along. You've married a man alongside with his character. What are you going to do? Marriage is managed. It's all yours. You have to take it like that. Secondly, a person that has to have a good marriage must understand how a marriage works. For example, we have a bicycle that has two wheels. There's a wheel in the front and there's a wheel behind. Which of these two wheels is more important? The one in the front is the one that gives direction. The one behind is the one to which the pedal is attached so that the bicycle can move. Which of them is the husband? Which of them is the wife in your own family? Usually, The one in the front is supposed to be the man, and the one behind is supposed to be the woman. Which of them is more important than the other? If the one behind should stop moving, the bicycle cannot go anywhere. If the one in the front should stop giving direction, then the bicycle will end up in the gutter. Which of them is more important? In your own family, you get to see that the man sometimes is like a figurehead, and the woman is one that actually gives him the power to move. If he should mess up with this one behind, she will stop moving, and with all of your sense of direction, you will be on the spot. You will not go anywhere. And if the one in the front should stop giving the direction, the one behind will only labor in vain. It will not go anywhere, no matter what it has achieved in terms of speed or velocity. The thing we should understand from here is this: what if the one in the front wants to go to the back and the one behind is coming to the front? That bicycle will no longer be a bicycle. To make a marriage to work, you have to understand how these principles work. Nowadays, many women have taken the place of men. Men have taken the place of women. Some men wear trousers. The trousers should be removed from them. They should be given wrapper instead, because they behave more like the woman. It can be very irresponsible. It's the wife that knows everything about the house. She's the one that has a number of plumbers. She's the one that has a number of mechanics. She has a number of those who repair generator. She has a number of the hospital the children attend. She has a number of the class teachers of the children. What else is there for the man to do? Sometimes, if a man is not careful, the woman will take over all the power you thought you have, to the extent that even your mother wants to come and visit you, you want to take her permission before your mother can come. If care is not taken for a man, he will forget that he's supposed to be in the front. His wife will direct the life of his life without him realizing it, to the extent that he will be at her mercy even when it comes to bedroom matters. Things have changed. Things have turned around. Gone are those days when men used to be men, and gone are those days when women used to be women, when women used to be ladies, when women used to be treated like queens, when women used to behave in such a way that you know that this is a responsible person from a responsible home. Now women want to argue, they want to talk, they want to argue, they want to laud, they want to argue, they want to give instructions. The home that belongs to the husband, they claim to other that is now their house. They determine who comes in, they determine who goes out, they determine who stays. When things don't go the way they should go, there's no marriage that will go anywhere. It's all going to be strife and struggle and sadness and sorrow and problems in one form or the other. In other words, men are the maintainers of the women. Allah didn't say male, Allah says men. Let men be men, let women be women, so that marriages can move forward. It's all about playing our roles. If you don't play your role as a husband, your wife will be the one that will direct the affairs of the house. And if a woman does not play her role as a wife, then she will know no happiness. Men love to be respected and honored. A woman loves to be cared for and loved. If we don't remain at this level, then our bicycle will not go anywhere. And lastly, a point I want us to also hold and not to forget is concerning three things that can come into one for every man or woman that is married. There was a general. He had to go for a decisive battle. If he should win, everything will be okay with him and his city. And if he should lose, the city will be invaded and the people will be toppled. So he went on to this battle with his general and his troop, and they got to a particular point. Their spy came to tell them that they have been outnumbered and they have been overpowered. While the troop morale was down, the general thought of what to do. So he got up and spoke to his people. He said, we are going to make dua. If we pray, Allah is going to give us victory in this. They all believed in the prayer. He said, yes, let us pray. After they made long dua, he said to them again, he said, after this dua, we have to determine our destiny by ourselves. If it is going to be that we should win this battle, Allah will decide it for us by virtue of our destiny. And if we are going to lose, it's going to be our destiny. How will we know our destiny? He asked the deputy to bring the arrows that they used in shooting during the war. They brought the arrows. About 10 of these arrows were brought. And on the tip of the arrows, they wrote some things there. Win or lose. If they pick win as a slot, that means they will win the battle. If they should pick lose, that means they will lose the battle. So they gathered all these arrows and put them inside the container. And they asked the deputy to come and pick one. Pick one from these arrows. Whichever one you have picked at random will determine our fate in this battle. Everybody was silent. The deputy moved forward and he dipped his hand into the container of the arrows and he brought one out. And by Allah's will, the one he brought out, on the tip of that one was written win. He showed it to the others and announced. Everybody was very happy. And with that happiness, they were charged. They were motivated. They know that they prayed now, and the destiny is that they are going to win the battle. They went to the battlefield and they won. They returned home jubilating, triumphant. And when they got back home, the deputy came to the general and said, I really believe and trust in your leadership. For the fact that we prayed, and for the fact that Allah made me to pick one, and that one I picked was that we should win. Walillah alhamd. Then the general called him to one side and said, out of those 10 arrows, you picked one, and that one is win. Have you checked the other arrows? He said, I have not checked. He said, go and check. And when he checked the other arrows, he saw that it is win, 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 win. That was on all of the arrows. Then the deputy said, but how come? He said, that is strategy. That is wisdom. Alhamdulillah, we have won the battle. What exactly made them to win that battle? Is it the dua? Is it the arrow? Or is it the wisdom that the general used? If you think deeply about what I've just said, you will see that to win the battle of marriage requires all three. The husband is the general, the wife is the deputy. If the general is not smart, if he's not faithful in Allah, he will never win the battle of any marriage. If he doesn't use his intelligence to be very sure that he's able to find means of motivating his followers, that marriage will never become successful. So think deeply, brothers and sisters. It requires a whole lot more than smartness. You also have to be prayerful. You also have to be smart. You have to be strategic, and you have to fear Almighty Allah in everything you do. And finally, you have to be focused. Be focused on what is important in the marriage. Be focused, not to quarrel over every little issue that you see, not to quarrel over every small thing that happens. Sometimes to be a man, you have to be focused and you have to be sharp in your focus. And this is what happened in a particular factory where all they do there is about furniture and some woodworks. And during the closing time, there's the security that always watch people coming out of the factory so that they don't steal anything from the factory. And so they kept coming and coming, and the security man noticed one man carrying wheelbarrow, and there was something inside nylon bag, black nylon bag placed inside the wheelbarrow. So as he was about to pass, the security man stopped and said, wait, what is that you are carrying? He said, I have sawdust inside this wheelbarrow. Open it, let me see. That one opened it, and the security man checked, he saw it was sawdust. What do you want to use it for? He said, I want to spread it on the floor for my poultry. I have a small poultry. I spread it there to keep the place neat. Usually they don't use the sawdust in the factory. They normally throw them away. He said, okay, you can go. The following day, this same man came with wheelbarrow and the sawdust. What is that? Sawdust. What do you use it for? He said, I explained to you yesterday. Okay, you can go. The third day, the man came, wheelbarrow and the sawdust. What is that? Ah, my friend, you remember, it's sawdust. Okay, you can go. The fourth day, the security man said, come, I'm suspecting you. It seems you are stealing something. If not, why would you be coming every day with this same nylon bag of sawdust? Tell me, if you can confess what you have been stealing, I'm going to let you go. Then that man said, if you promise you will let me go, I will tell you what I've been doing. Actually, I've been stealing wheelbarrows. Each day I pass, it is the sawdust that you are looking at. But as of today, I've stolen 4 wheelbarrows. Your own focus was on the sawdust that I kept inside it. But you did not notice that it is new wheelbarrow I steal every day. If you were that security man, would you let him go? No. There was a promise. Will you let him go? If the security man should let him go, he will be in trouble. If you should catch him and arrest him, he will still be in trouble. Because people will say, what have you been looking at that he stole 4 wheelbarrows? You are focusing on the sawdust that is useless. If you are the husband and you have to maintain a home, please don't focus on the sawdust. Focus on the wheelbarrow. There are more important things in your marriage that is more than sawdust. There are more important things in your marriage that is more than whether your food is ready on time or not. There are more important things in your marriage that is more than your woman behaves like a woman. There are more important things in your marriage that's more than you wanting to say you are the husband without you performing your responsibility. Please focus on the wheelbarrow and don't focus on the sawdust. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.